Father Sean is exiting the studio. We've got to get you back because we have a lot more to talk about. Yeah. All right? You're a good man.
God bless. Thank you.
Father Sean O'Brien.
And good luck to those mayors and the people with the fire department. I'm a volunteer as a chaplain for our fire departments. They're very important, and the people, the voters, the people who donate money, the people who pay taxes, they count on the courage and the bravery of their firefighters and their EMTs. So hopefully all the mayors, and I don't live down here, I'm up in Boonville, but I know consolidation is important and it's painful. Hopefully the mayors will work together to meet the needs of their constituencies and also to meet the needs that the fire department can adequately care for their people. All right, have a nice day.
Good stuff. Yeah, that's Father Sean O'Brien right there. Okay, so let's see. I do want to bring in the mix. We have Mayor O'Connor on. We're talking about the issue of this proposed merger. The vote is tomorrow. Gentlemen, Pat O'Connor, where can people vote, by the way?
They can vote at the Oriskany Village Library, the Whitestown Town Hall on Clark Mills Road, which is the old property of the St. Anne's Church, and at our village office on Mosley Street in Whitesboro.
And who can?
Noon to 9.
And despite the fact that New York Mills and Yorkville have opted out, who can vote on this? Who gets to vote?
The Village of Whitesboro residents, the Village of Oriskany residents, and anyone lives in the town portion of the town of Whitestone.
Got it. Okay. I want to bring in we have Mayor O'Connor from Whitesboro, from New York Mills, Mayor John Bialek, and now Jeff Burkhart is the fire chief in Oriskany, who I want to bring into the mix here. Jeff Burkhart, good morning, and you've been listening. You've been on the line. What's your take here?
First off, good morning, Bill. Good morning, mayors.
Good morning, Jeff.
Morning. I just want to throw out there one quick fact that, the fire service in this area is phenomenal, and for anybody to start talking bad about any other fire department in this area is just wrong in general, and I'm not going to go down that route. However, what I would like to say is public safety needs to come first, and all this politics needs to get out of it. We're here for the citizens. We're here for the taxpayers, and both memberships of the departments have agreed that this is the best way to step forward and to best serve the public. I sat in a village meeting several months back where the entire Village of New York Mills board came into the village board meeting in Oriskany and basically said, please vote no before this proposition goes forward, because if you guys vote yes, it's going to devastate us, and we would be behind you if the shoe was on the other foot. So obviously there's some other stuff going on here that the boards are going against each other. And quite frankly, we need to get the politics out of it and do what's in the best interest for the people.
And what is, and Jeff, what is, in your opinion, what's in the best interest of the people?
Well, there's several things. First off, in the town portion specifically, not so much the villages because the fire departments are based in the villages, but in the town portion, there's a lot of people that live in the Whitesboro zip code who are in the town part where New York Mills covers that didn't even know that they were covered by New York Mills versus Whitesboro. They figured they had a Whitesboro zip code. They were covered by a Whitesboro Fire Department. In some cases, that's not true. You started hearing a little bit about the distance earlier with another caller that was on the phone earlier, Henderson Street and Clinton Street. That's a controversy, but you got to remember that's just the beginning of the town portion New York Mills covers.
Right.
I know somebody who lives up on Westmoreland Road whose house is in the New York Mills Fire District, who is 5.3 miles from New York Mills Firehouse, but it's 3 miles to Oriskany Firehouse. Take the half mile out of it, it's almost twice as close. And those people that live out there deserve the closest fire truck, regardless of what it says on the side of the fire truck.
Right.
Period.
All right. So you feel people should vote yes?
I feel strongly people should vote yes, and so do both departments.
All right. Pat O'Connor, I will give you. I'll give both you guys a chance to pipe in. Obviously, you're on two different sides, the two mayors here, but let's start with Mayor O'Connor.
I agree with Jeff, Chief Burkhart. It's unfortunate that politics gets involved in public safety. It's always a hot button issue. You can tell that I'm very passionate about this. And it does have to do with public safety. But I'm passionate, and I get a little animated because people need to know all the facts and the finances behind what New York Mills, the village of New York Mills, would stand to lose is absolutely staggering. As Jeff said, they went to a village of Oriskany meeting and said this would crush us. So it's money before public safety. That's just not okay with me. And
Mayor, can I ask you a quick question? Basically, this merger comes down to
WIBX Utica Rome, by the way. It's 9:05. We'll join Glenn Beck, already in progress, in just a few minutes.
This vote comes down to being able to cover fires in other districts. Is that what this comes down to? Because there's not rebranding. There's no really consolidation.
No, it absolutely is not rebranding. The fire trucks in Whitesboro are still going to look like the fire trucks in Whitesboro. They're still going to come out of the station in Whitesboro, just as the ones in Oriskany will do also. What we would be doing is taking the two departments, joining them together, covering the areas that we cover now and the expanded portion of the town that encompasses residents like the one that Jeff just mentioned. It's not in the best interest of public safety for someone that's 5.3 miles away to be served by the furthest fire department. It doesn't make any sense at all. And it's another thing that this proposal would change. It would provide service to the residents by the closer fire department, and that's another reason why you should vote yes to this.
Mayor, no, can I pipe in real quick?
Yeah, this is Jeff.
One of the things that has spearheaded this whole thing, I mean, this is actually about 8 or 10 years in the process. You guys are just hearing about the last year and a half, 2 years, but this has been about 8 years in the process. The town went out and actually put a study together by a group. Paid them, I think it was like $30,000 or $40,000 to come up with this study. I could be incorrect on the cost, but there was a study done by a professional group, and it came out and it showed that the town of Whitestown has more fire trucks than the city of Utica and the city of Rome put together. That's what the town people in the 4 villages are paying for. This would start the process of listening to that study that went out and said you need to start getting rid of fire apparatus. You need to start reducing your overhead costs. How else do you start reducing your overhead costs but to do something like this?
Right.
The other two agencies didn't want to get involved in it, and immediately you go from 11 fire engines that are about $500,000 to $600,000 a piece, and 4 ladder trucks, which are almost $1 million a piece, to 5 engines and 2 ladder trucks. You do the math.
Right. Mayor John Bialek, what happens to New York Mills if this goes through? To the New York Mills Fire Department?
I'd like to also comment on the public safety side. I agree. This should be about public safety. And quite honestly, all I've heard over the last couple of weeks is New York Mills makes this, New York Mills that makes that, and they're making all this money, when in reality the bulk of the monies that are going to be coming in are going to go directly to the Whitesboro Fire Department, because originally it was proposed as a merger between 2 departments. Now it's a proposal that will eliminate 2 departments in the town, eliminate over 120 volunteers.
That's a lie,
protect
Bill.
the town for the last 60 years, and that's why I feel that it should be about public safety as well. And public safety, to me, one of the most valuable assets that we have today is that volunteer. And
Mayor O'Connor, you're saying
you can have the biggest and the best fire truck and equipment and firehouse. If that volunteer doesn't come out, then we have real problems. We have nothing.
And Mayor O'Connor, you say that you disagree with the volunteers will be going away?
Yeah, the volunteers are not going to be going away. There's going to be no change in the current complement of the volunteers that serve in all of the departments in the town of Whitestown. There's going to be no change in the location of the fire departments as they're currently stationed in the town of Whitestown. There's going to be a change providing better service with a closer fire department to take care of closer people. So the mayor's saying that it's going to eliminate 2 departments and 115 members, again, is a lie that came off of that Concerned Citizens for Public Safety. Now, I have one question.
Well,
Mayor Bialek.
The problem is that we're listening to Mayor O'Connor like he's on that Board of Commissioners, and he's speaking for the Board of Commissioners. And that is completely not true, and that's not what was stated through the meetings.
All right,
a question for the mayor.
Mayor O'Connor, this will be our final our final run here. So, Mayor, go ahead.
Mayor Bialek, if this proposal goes through, and I want to say that the New York Mills Fire Department is exceptional. They do an exceptional job. But Mayor Bialek, if this proposal goes through, does your village stand to lose a significant amount of revenue as a result? Yes or no?
Not by your definition, because you're telling me that there's going to be no changes throughout the contracts and the service going throughout the town. So by your own admission, you say no. But unfortunately,
as you can see,
you've been speaking for the commissioners all morning and telling everyone that what they want to hear. That's just not completely true.
As you can see, Bill, he comes back with things like my definition and sidesteps the question. The answer to the question is yes, New York Mills would stand to lose a huge sum of money, which is why their entire board appeared before the Oriskany Village Board.
Well, that's not entirely true, because once again, you're putting a monetary amount on all of this. You're making all those accusations when, in fact, New York Mills and the Village of Yorkville have protected their district with those volunteers for over the past 60 years. And there's a great relationship between the firefighters and those residents in those areas.
Well, clearly,
once did New York Mills bring this money up. In fact, we made a proposal and put it on the table that would reduce taxes by 4 cents per thousand.
Mayor Bialek, why did you wait until this proposal came forward to offer a reduction to residents?
Because originally the original proposal was between Whitesboro and Oriskany, and we actually embraced it. We said, well, if a Whitesboro is going to go out and help Oriskany, that's a good thing. You well know that at the last public hearing, the first public hearing, the budget was put forth for those two departments. The last budget public hearing that we had on the subject, everything changed because all of a sudden we all found out that all the revenues were going into the current Whitesboro Fire Department. A total different budget,
Bill,
and that was bad, and that was just this past June. So
Bill,
there's your answer.
All right. Mayor O'Connor.
Really quick. Again, he's misleading people, trying to get them to believe that the money is going to Whitesboro.
You know that's absolutely true, Pat.
I'd like to answer the question.
Go ahead.
So the money is not going to the Whitesboro Fire Department. It is going into the Whitestown Fire District, a budget that is regulated by the New York State Comptroller. There's actually an 83-page manual on how to manage the finances of fire districts. So it's very strictly monitored, and it's very strictly, there's several laws that need to be abided by. So how the mayor can say in one breath, by definition, the Whitesboro Fire Department will cease to exist, and then the next breath say we stand to get all this money as the Whitesboro Fire Department, he's just continuing to contradict himself.
All right, Mayor Bialek.
Well, one thing that I would like to add to that is that by their own definition, I mean the revenues that the additional revenues that are flowing into the Whitesboro / Whitestown Fire Department is basically the funds that were coming out of the other two departments in Yorkville and New York Mills.
Okay, and I do want to say in fairness,
there's one thing that needs to be addressed, and we keep talking about the volunteers and stuff like that. By no means are anybody that's proposing this district or anything like that trying to say Yorkville and New York Mills Fire Department isn't part of this. Okay, they have the option to join later on, and second, it makes no sense for Whitesboro to drive by Yorkville's firehouse to get to a portion of Lake Nyack that's in the town. So it would behoove the commissioners to contract with fire departments that are closer to those portions of the town. So you're still going to have those firefighters.
And to clarify one thing, Mayor Bialek, in fairness, if the fire tax goes away, if this thing goes through, a certain portion of revenue would be eliminated that right now comes into New York Mills. Is that true?
That's true.
Yeah.
Because
okay.
This has been a definition of it's the old style turf war that goes back 30, 40 years.
Yeah.
And this is something that just, like I said, this just came about this past June when the momentum started going, and then all of a sudden, Whitesboro felt that this is an opportunity to grab more turf. But unfortunately, you can talk about proximity all you want, but if you don't have that pool of volunteers to come out, you've got a real problem. You can be right around the corner or next door. If the volunteers don't turn out, we have problems.
Jeff Burkhart, I want to thank you, the chief in Oriskany. Thanks for calling in. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Bill.
All right. I'll let him go. Mayor Bialek, thanks so much. Good luck tomorrow. We appreciate your call as well.
Thank you very much.
All right. And Mayor O'Connor, I'll give you the final word to say where people can vote and when one more time. This is a big vote coming tomorrow.
People can vote at the Oriskany Village Library from noon to 9, the Village of Whitesboro office from noon to 9, that's on Mosley Street, and the Town of Whitesboro offices, which are located on Clark Mills Road on the property of the old St. Anne's Church. So regardless of which way anybody's going to vote, go out and vote and make sure your voices are heard. And just a sincere thank you to all of the volunteers and all of the departments. This is, unfortunately, that's something that gets lost when these things are undertaken. They all do a great job in all 4 departments, and we all owe them a debt of gratitude.
All right. Mayor Pat O'Connor, thanks for your time. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Bill. Have a good day.